Dan, it'd be real helpful to have that view, practice, and action in the ground path to fruition of each of those on one page, where we could see how it fits. You gave it in discrete
yes,
frames.
Exactly.
Now,
well, they were organized by view, practice, and act. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But to have it all together.
Yeah, maybe I should do a summary slide, because that would be helpful.
Yeah.
It's hard to hold this, you know, it's very nested logics throughout the I Ching.
Yeah.
So one of the challenges is to remember, really be concentrating on what you're looking at and holding the context at the same time, and I think that would be a useful tool. Thank you. So now, how is it that these leaders do their job? And I'm just going to give you a very, I'm not actually going to go through the individual hexagrams in depth due to time, but these 4 hexagrams describe the way of enlightened leadership. And they come on fairly early. And the first one is called the common basis of people, knowing the nature of beings. And the key thing here is that a great leader can look, as the language they use, at barbarians, which is people who don't understand how karma works, who are sort of like at the prey of their own impulse, and sort of raging around, so to speak, or very depressed, or unable to see the world in its sacredness. But a great leader can understand the basic goodness and see it directly in an experiential way, even in people who are very crude. So understands the nature and inherent potential of beings, and therefore can understand how to help organize them into classes and clans, which is to say that different people have different needs. And you can't just look at the outside saying, oh, well, that's a poor person, that person must be really stupid. We know that's not true. And you can't say, oh, there's a person with a nice suit, they must be really refined. That's not true. You have to be able to see into a person's heart. And so that is the first capability and most important capability of a leader, is that they don't discard anyone, but they also can understand what their paths are about, so they can begin to engage them in ways that are helpful and organize society so they're environments that actually help them evolve as people. The second one is when that kind of leader, who is without bias, can bring what is above and what is below into resonance, which is to say, wisdom and crudity, or it could be heaven and earth, practicality and vision. So you have a vision of a good society and you have a practicality. You start to bring those things into resonance. Wise people, it's like saying, oh, we have a bunch of people without any education, we have some wise people, let's make a class. And we need a building for a class, and we're going to get those people close to each other. And then that wise person being around the people who haven't had a chance to evolve their own potential start to be in resonance, and natural things happen. That's the process of great abundance, that when those things come into resonance, there's interpenetration of society, and good things happen on every day.
Another detail.
Yes?
The broken line, should it be for 14?
Oh, you're right. I have the same.
Yeah.
No, that wants to be upside down. Thank you. That's right. I did that. 3 in the morning. Humbleness and great equality, we talked about before. Who was it? There you are. Is the sense that leadership is not holding power and making decisions and wielding directive power. It's being fundamentally, it's being transparent in your seat to the energies of heaven and earth. You are a human context, but your actual volitional situation is no more than being transparent to the energies of heaven and earth that we discussed in the previous hexagram. So a great leader, especially the higher a leader you are in the sense of natural hierarchy, the less you do. So we have a strong idea that the greatest leaders are sort of Maha administrators or super skillful at manipulating power. But this is a completely different understanding of what that might mean. Right?
What is the great equality?
The great equality we'll see in the text. I'll point it out as we go by. I don't use the text, but we'll come back to it. And then finally, the activity born of loyalty is the true loyalty Leaders invoke Drala, natural forces, establish hierarchy and treat standards and laws. That's a sense of practicality we were talking about. It's a yang principle. It's the yang line there among the yin. But the idea is you're invoking, you're actually doing things. The result is you're setting things up, hierarchies, appointing people to help. You're bringing sacredness down into practicality. It's a highly active process, finally. So your transparency as a humble person leads to tremendous manifestation, but it's done through really transparency. So here's the common basis of people. The last line, the warriors discriminate beings. The warriors discriminate beings and their affairs and classes and plans. The next one is great abundance, which is being resonant with heaven and in step with the seasons, which is to say that you have complete openness to coincidence, and therefore your actions are always synchronized with the seasons or the ripeness of situations. Humbleness, very interesting. I love this. Humbleness is brilliant wakefulness, the epitome of warriorship. And it says that, I love this part here. It says, the earth's Tao uplifts the simple and unsophisticated. Heaven's Tao, the full reign and the humble increase. Earth's Tao transforms the full and certainly disperses the humble. Ghosts and Dralas injure the arrogant and bless the humble. And humanity's Tao hates the arrogant and loves the humble. Humbleness is the source of dignity and glory. It is simplicity that is not drawn to excess. It is the leader's final achievement. So, the warrior decreases the excessive and increases the insufficient. If you think about interdependence, right? It's not, one thing can't have more than the other. Everything is just a reflection of its relationships. There's no there, have something. So when something looks like it's holding on to a lot of stuff, then the equality is that should be relaxed. And when something looks poverty-stricken, then we should acknowledge its relationships and it becomes rich. So there's a sense of equalizing that light, which is not homogenizing. Equalizing in sacredness is not homogenizing inequalities. That's a key principle there. So these four principles are explained throughout the rest of the text. But by going through these 6 hexagrams, I hope I've given you a little flavor of what the process is like, what the language is like, and what the project of Yu King is like. So now, at the end of our little presentation, we're going to have like a little crash course in the depth of the structure of the I Ching. And you should just enjoy it as a light show, because it's way, way too complex to discuss in any depth, but I want you to know it's there, because it will inform further study, and it's a source of great joy, and it's just the coolest thing on 4 wheels. So I hope you enjoy it, and you have your seatbelts on? Here we go. Okay. So, math and poetry, that the structure, these are the 8 hexagrams arranged in what's called the model of earlier heaven, or the pre-celestial Bhagwan. Same thing. You can see heavens above earth, and fire and water are going across. And you can see if you go straight across from each other, every solid line in the opposite is a broken line, and vice versa. And that's a very mathematical set of relationships, isn't it? And that mathematical... Did you touch something? There we go. Right here. Well, those have those cool secondary levels of hexagrams. And then we see that those things are referring to energy. So that's the idea of math and poetry. We have this highly structural mathematical language of the relationship of the solid and broken lines, but they're referring to heaven and earth and water and fire and lake, wind and wood, quake or thunder and mountain. Those are real you know, those are worlds. So part of learning the language of the I Ching is opening up to the precision of the mathematics and the tremendous depth of the metaphors.